This is Journeys of Empowerment. More than a podcast, it's a circle of belonging, where every story becomes a turning point. I'm Michiel Sujitreit. Here, we don't just share experiences. We pause, reflect, and realign with what truly matters. Before we dive in, a word of gratitude to our very first believer and sponsor, Neotopia. We've all seen it. New processes, detailed training, tighter KPIs, yet somehow, the real shift never takes root. Because transformation doesn't start in the system. It starts in the human being. Neotopia understands that lasting change isn't about control, but about awareness. In their awareness workshop, you'll explore why strong processes still break down in execution, why learning fades when it's not embodied, and how to build teams that take ownership, not just orders. Change that drains people won't last, but change that awakens behavior, that's what moves everyone forward. Ready to lead differently and from awareness? Visit neotopia.nl. Some shifts don't announce themselves. They start quietly, in the moments that we realize the life we built no longer reflects who we are becoming. And sometimes the bravest thing we can do is listen to the part of us that has been waiting to be seen again. In this episode, I sat down with Bea Salomma, a guide in personal expression, and someone who rebuilt her life by trusting intuition more than expression. Her story is not about reinvention for the sake of it, but about returning to the self that was always there beneath the roles, the labels, and the noise. We spoke about what happens when identity is no longer defined by job roles, but by presence. How becoming a mother reshaped her sense of self. How the icon framework emerged from years of studying psychology, color, and the energy of expression. And how playfulness, which she once pushed aside, became a bridge back to her natural way of being. As Bea shared, everything is possible. And if there's one line that stayed with me, it was her simple truth that you only ever need one small step to begin again. Let's walk into it. Bea Salomma, welcome to Journeys of Empowerment.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's a pleasure. Let's right away jump into who is Bea.
Oh, this is actually a very interesting question, and I ask my clients often, and I always say, this is the most difficult question anybody can ask you. Because at the end, I would love to just answer, I am. And this will be my answer, actually.
I am. And was it always your answer?
No. No, my answer was actually very long, usually.
What was the answer before it became I am?
All those before, actually, I moved into fashion. I identified myself as an advertising director, or maybe somebody who loves sports, yoga lover, or salsa dancer, or whatever. Then, when I met my husband and started to be a mother, then it started to be, being wife, mother, fashion designer, at some point, business owner. So all those labels we give others as well and give to ourselves, I did the same. I labeled myself. But I've noticed at some point that it tricks our identity because it's not who you are. So when I decided to change my professional life, when I worked for 12 years in publishing houses, and the market totally changed, everything went to online. We didn't want to print anymore. So I was laid off. And I really noticed how strongly I identified myself with being director, being advertising director. That actually it was all my life. And without that, I felt so empty. I really felt that I don't know who I am. Huge crisis in life, but also huge lesson and beautiful beginning of another chapter. But then the question really stayed with me, is it all what there is? Or is it all of who I am? I didn't find an answer actually long time after that. So today, when I really tell you I am, I own it. I really feel I own it. But it took me so long to get to it, to really, feel it, like deeply stand by it.
I truly love it. Yet also trying to imagine, okay, we're at the network event, and of course everybody is looking at your name tag and who are you? And then the question comes, who are you? What would you say on a network event, work event, where the purpose is to connect and find people, maybe to collaborate with or to team up with or whatever? What would be then your description of who you are? Because we both love I am, or who are you becoming would be also a question I really love to ask to people. But when it comes to the network event, as is right now, what would you say?
I would say I'm an icon framework founder.
Ooh.
So this is something which I think I would even add icon style framework to make it more clear and add maybe less after. Because I feel there we have a lot from what I'm currently doing and where I'm going and what's my purpose, what's my mission. I would add later on, I'm also style editor, or depending also on networking meetings, sometimes I say personal brand stylist, depending how clear I feel it should be. And then when conversation continues, I also say that I'm a mom of 3.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And that's interesting. Because I was a few weeks ago, I was at an amazing event. It was Women's Health in at Equals of Mama Moon Health, formerly Mama Moon Health. It's now Embrace Health. And I was asked, surprisingly, to moderate a round table centered around. It was the event was about women's health at the workplace and how to get more men involved as a man ally into the conversation. So they spontaneously thought, hey, Michiel, you can moderate. And I was like, okay. And then the first thing you do when you moderate a group of 9 beautiful women. And I was like, okay, but who are we? So we did a round. And then I deliberately chose to do last. And I always love to start that I'm a proud father of 3 beautiful daughters, India, Luna, and Lila. And the funny thing is that normally when women, I never forget the presentation of a very well-known board member of the Rabobank. And she is, I won't mention her name, but she was introduced by a man after the total board was men and was already introduced with all the accolades and with all the accomplishments and with everything. And here it was, person X, mama of 2, that's it. So that's interesting. I'm proud to say I'm a proud father of 3 daughters, and I deliberately say that as first part. Yet the other way around is that every man got introduced at that moment, and the female board member, mother of 2. That's it. And I'm like, no, that's.
This is very interesting, actually. Especially those days when I would say when we look at our mothers and their times, and now how we want to and actually desire to live, it's so different. And actually, I can tell you, when I started to be a mother, it was quite fast. In 3 years, 3 kids, because the second pregnancy, twins. I also gave myself space to see if this person who was always very active, very driven, could just, be at home with kids and just live everyday life. And I can tell you, I can. And this was like for me, like, let's see how long I need and how long my children need as well. And with whole openness. And I discovered that after 10, 12 months, I was ready. I was ready to move slowly. So 1-2 days doing something besides being a mom, which is the role forever. So it stays with us all the time. But I knew already that a very important part of my kids' life, the first year, when to see them walking, to see them talking, to be with them, was for me like fully focused without any disruption. And I can do it. And I want to do it. And I love to do it. And there is another part of me which wants to have it all. And I believe it's not easy. Actually, I believe that we can have it, but it's not easy. And I will not believe to anybody who will tell me that we can do it just like that, because it requires some sacrifice. It requires sleepless nights, a lot of crying, in the meantime of building your own business and managing this all with, changing diapers, kids sitting on your back. So I know now we are able to be both, but need to be really aware that I would even say there is some kind of price you pay. So I started to build my business to be more with my kids, to be independent. I always love to be independent, so I'm happy that I have my own business. But the purpose was I just want to be flexible. I just want to be with my kids all the time whenever they need me. And what happened? Actually, I started to be so busy that as it is in your business, you can work 24/7. Mm-hmm. And this is what happened to me. And at some point, I woke up one day and I thought, this is not as planned. And until today, I'm looking for this, golden solution, which would be in between, or maybe merging those two, being a mother and being a female entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. But, my thing is that I always find small, I call it helpers in a way. I also call close helpers when I talk to my clients, when I work with my clients. But what happened to me? What I did when I was laid off from this 12 years big career in media, it was very surprising, but also very heavy. And what I started to do, and really promised myself that I will do it regularly, to paint my nails. Just to paint my nails. And it really kept me, I really cannot even explain how important it was, because it's something everybody can do. It's not complicated. But it engages a little bit your creativity, choice, and the color. And also puts you as this person who is very important for yourself. And this is how my journey actually started to totally change my life. Mm. professionally and privately as well. And even I changed the country. So it's a little bit in my life like that when I do everything at once.
Yeah.
When I have children, 3 children in 3 years, it's a little bit like, maybe this is my energy in a way. But small things, this is what I want to say. So I think I'm good in those, picking this direction which will keep me up.
How much of those little choices you make comes from the urge of control?
Probably at some point in my life, a lot. I think control is something which is very well known to me. And I think it's also something which really helped me to move forward. Because I feel my energy, it's always moving forward in a way. It's not stagnant.
No, that's what I also find out about you while doing my research. You can see also if you visit your website, it's all about energy, and it's all about moving forward.
Yeah.
And let's circle a little bit back to the founder of Icon.
Yeah.
What is the framework Icon all about, and for who is it?
Yeah, so Icon Framework was born in the process of supporting women. Actually, supporting women on expressing themselves. So how it all started, I started to study fashion, I started to work in fashion, to discover that actually being a fashion designer, so I changed all my life, everything upside down. And then I discovered that actually being a fashion designer, it's very interesting. It's something I would never think to experience when I studied economics when I was like 20. So it was a huge change. And then I discovered that actually it's not the end. It's only the beginning, because this is not really what makes me, feel alive. Empowering part, which is also amazing that we are talking about empowering in your podcast, which is about empowering, and psychology behind somewhere there was very, very interesting to me. So when I was a mother of 3 already, I had this idea to support mothers. Because, again, I found my small ritual. This time it was a lipstick. So when my son was born, I felt like I really remember, and nobody tells you this, tells us as mothers that when child is born, then in a way your life changes in a minute, totally. And I felt like how to keep this part of yourself, which is you, while evolving into being a mother, which is totally different identity. So when we talk that child was born, the mother was also born. So for me it was, I'm not a lipstick person in a way, so it needs to be a reason. But that moment I really used very bright pink lipstick every day.
And is it then to emphasize your feminine or the life before, or what are you trying to express?
I think it was a bridge. I think I feel now when I look back, I think it was a bridge. It's like telling myself that I am the same person. I am myself. And at the same time, who am I at the moment when everything changes? So I feel it's an identity crisis in a way when you start to be a mother, and it can be a beautiful crisis, it can be a heavy crisis, it can be long or short, but for sure I don't feel women are the same once they become mothers.
So this is how it started, with lipstick, just right away when you became mother for yourself for the first time. Yeah. And the Icon framework, how does it work? How does it help you and other people?
Yeah, so this discovery actually was the beginning of supporting busy mamas, I call that. So how I can show and guide women, because it's very easy for me, the background of fashion, the love for style, love for color. How can I put it all together? So it started in the big group of busy mamas, who I supported with no framework then, but group program, and then individual consultations. But then, again, next stage, I noticed that my old life, business life, being an advertising director, working so long, so many years, somewhere behind the scene of a lot of creativity, photo shoots, advertising, it cannot be forgotten. Doesn't need to, could be. But this part came back to me, and this is how I discovered that personal branding and seeing words as style, it's so easy for me. It's like a natural, something I just have. An icon method started slowly to be born from the process of working with female founders, female entrepreneurs, female visionaries, how to translate their message into style before they even say a word. And it was like a trial and error. I'm also that kind of person. I try if it works, if it doesn't work. And I share my journey also. So the icon method, it's the effect of years of experiments. So where you go from identifying, and again, this vision, and again, who you are, and again, the essence, translated into color, texture, silhouettes, and build looks that actually makes it easy for all the women in business to show up. Not easy to show up, but even possible to show up. To claiming the visibility and making an impact, very important.
Now, a very blunt question. Why does it matter?
Very important question, because I ask this question to myself as well. I feel there is this, and I need to talk a little bit about maybe fashion as fashion, that we really perceive fashion because of what we see, because of this vibe around this as very shallow. Maybe not we perceive, maybe it's perceived like that, let's say in general. So I really went through all this thinking process. Why does it matter? Because when I don't feel that it matters, I cannot do it. And I feel deeply that it's so important and it's so multidimensional that once I discovered that there is such a power, and I discovered that while also working with clients, when I could see how empowering for them is to claim the visibility they get when they have first compliments, when they dare to be seen, when they show up. And this we could really dig deeper into history and, even childhood wounds of women.
Psychology.
And psychology, a lot of psychology. How we need to be nice girls. How like in Poland, we say the fish and children have no voice.
And originally, because that we didn't mention, but originally your name comes from, where does your name come from?
My name is Polish, but actually it's Italian.
This
is really fun. It was very popular.
All right, a little sidestep, because we have to help also the listener to understand, okay, why all of a sudden Poland? And then I hear Italy. There's something to that. So where does your name come from, and where do you originally come from?
So my name comes from Italy. So Beata, it's my original name. Bea is a shortcut. And Polish people at some point really love the name. So actually you can see it more in Poland than in Italy. Although in Italy they have even an island, Beata, which I was like, amazing. I just have my own island,
And originally you were born in and grew up in Poland.
Yes, and
Okay.
I actually had my whole life in Poland for 36 years.
So your first child is born
In Netherlands.
in Netherlands.
In Netherlands.
Ah, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I came to the Netherlands, I was really in love with fashion, in love finally with what I want to do and my desires, and really decided that I don't want to have disruption. I'm just done with relationships, and I will be focusing now on my path, which is really finally what my heart wants to do. But the reality was a little bit different, because after half a year, I met my husband and I was never back to Poland. Life.
Life is life. Such is life. That's the beauty of life, right? Would you prefer to know everything right away before it happens?
No, and I can tell you, if we would want to know, or we would like to do things only when we know, we will never do it. So I really cherish this part of me, which I call courage. That to be courageous, to do those steps, to follow your heart, to come back to who you really are by making those steps forward, even though you really don't know what will happen next. Because I came to Amsterdam to be in fashion, study fashion, work in fashion, to discover that there is a big part of fashion in what I do, but this was only a step to something bigger for myself.
Even you didn't know what, but you felt it's an intuitive feeling.
Yeah, I think this is this feeling we have inside, and I can imagine that some of our listeners will really have at least once in their life this feeling that you just know. It's like your full body yes. And after 2 months, when I started to study fashion, I was all of a sudden in some kind of competition, fashion, nominated to big competition in Frankfurt, when I was really just sent my first drawings and collection there, not really expecting anything. And I remember I was really sitting in Frankfurt before the big event and thinking, I would never predict this when I decided to go for it and study fashion. That after a few months, I will be standing there and looking at my design walking in Frankfurt and being nominated. And then I understood that this is when you tell yes to yourself, the lifestyle also responds with yes.
And everything is possible.
Everything is possible. Yes.
That's one of you, eh?
Yes.
That's really what you really is. Was it so? Every day, that's obviously something with you. When I say that everything is possible, where does it come from, and why do you believe so hard in that everything is possible? Do you believe that is? Do you believe it's nature or nurture?
I think I was born with that, truly speaking. Because I really tried a few times to figure it out. How come I strongly have it so deeply in myself that everything is possible. It's even when I say that now, I really feel it with all my body. And I was born in another way than regular. I was born with legs out first. And I feel I just kicked out to the world, it took some time, but I was already, that's why maybe I'm so fast, because I'm running everywhere, because my legs were first. But if this happened, and I survived that in a way, when in these times when there was no echo, people like doctors didn't know that it will happen, that it was not even safe. What can I say? Then I think after that, you just live your life. And I don't remember that I was told by anybody in my life this sentence. I never heard that. So I think it's like internal belief, or funny because we always now I realize most of the time we talk about limiting beliefs, and this
Maybe
is
this
huge.
is an empowering belief.
Yes, and this is huge because I haven't heard anybody, any coach, like anybody in development space, to talk about empowering beliefs. And what we talk now about, it's exactly those beliefs we also carry with ourselves through life, which really are our North Star, or this lighthouse. So this is it for me. So I never could root this somewhere. I think I just have this. I also believe that we are born with personality already. When I also look at my kids, I don't believe we are tabula rasa, when we are born. It's like really personality comes with the body to this earth. So I think this is a part of my personality too, So I feel when I have such a strong belief that I can do a lot, I need to do it. I feel it's my responsibility to bring it to even work better for me and others as well.
Who are you helping? So if we look at what you're doing, who are you helping? And also, I think it's good also for the listener to really help us understand what are you actually doing? So the end-to-end. They come to you and then what?
So I guide female entrepreneurs, but I even narrow this down to visionaries, change makers, leaders. So these are women who are already in development space. So they really start to be interested even more they start to, feel this like there is something more. They start to know, to feel who they are, and they are ready. So they are ready to also step into this huge power we all, actually, not only women, we all have inside of us. And when they come to me, I feel it's also this kind of chemistry, energetic match. It needs to be in order for the framework also and transformation to work. I work also intuitively. So this is additional part on the framework I created. So I'm there with women through all the process from the beginning and establishing. First, they tell me what they think, how they see themselves, but also I give feedback. And I've noticed that I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm a deep person. So I also like to work deep. So I see deeply. So I see through. So when we establish this part, it's also daring to share, but also daring to embrace some parts they didn't want to see, or were not ready, or were not aware. So once we see it, we dare to have this vision and dare to have dreams. And this is huge because I feel we women, as we go through life, there is some point we forget how it is to dream. We forget how our vision looks and what it is. And there is a moment we start to remind ourselves there is this big dream, there is this vision. So this is the moment where the vision, I also say, wear your vision.
Wear, as in wearing.
Wearing, dress your vision. Maybe it will be easier to understand. Dress your vision. Where we start to really look into, the colors. What is the color really? The color is also energy. So we know that there are colors. We've noticed ourselves that we look better in blue than maybe purple, or maybe brown than black. But truly speaking, most of women are wearing black because it's a safe choice, because it's easy, and because 70% of clothes in the shops are black. So I never say, don't do it. or do this or do that. I'm always in alignment and in this process, like a little bit flowing with clients through all the process of finding their own way.
And are you also joining them while shopping?
Depending which program we are in. So I have different options. There is an option I do, there is an option I support. So I always respond to what's needed. But I would say the most important part in it is for women to discover that they can. So I feel I'm not a teacher, but a guide, being somewhere there at the back and directing a little bit left, a little bit right, that at the end, they can fully stand on the stage with the big audience, on the networking event, or the book launch, or even start thinking about writing a book, or even some clients report like doing huge changes in in businesses. And this is where I discovered that this power is so huge. That style, when we think about fashion, as we said before, when we think about clothes, it's just only objects. But it needs to have this energy inside, so the body, and being chosen by heart of women, then it gets all the power. And the power is to live your life fully, as you really want to live this life. So the style is the beginning, but the transformation is endless. Because it's like, I feel it's like, it's like this first kick you get, and then you go.
And how much of the persona you've just mentioned, where you're working for, is related to yourself?
I would say this coming back part, or returning to yourself, it's my part as well. And maybe that's why I'm so passionate about this. And maybe that's why I know it's so crucial. Because there is huge potential in all of us. But the true self, I really feel like it's our potential. But it might be that some of us will never tap into it. But all of us have a chance to do it. And I experienced this in my own life when I made like huge choices, risky choices, being afraid, but still doing this, like with a lot of courage and determination, that I actually discovered that this is really me. And if I would think 20 years ago, 25 years ago, that I will ever do anything creative when I studied economics, I would laugh. I perceive myself as a person like, logic, structure. I have a plan, I'm not spontaneous. And then I landed so many years after in something which is really me, creativity. So I feel I own to share my lesson. And I'm lucky enough to know and see words as style, color, and texture, and know that this is a huge and very actually easy tool we have next to our bed in our wardrobe to use every day to step into our power as women.
There's also, because it is of course also about you, there is also, if I look at your website, there's also a sort of playfulness around you. Where does that come from? You're an energy and playfulness. How does that blend into what you're doing?
Truly speaking, the playfulness, it's the part I would also never say I have, which style helped me to discover and to embrace fully. I was never a playful child. I was quite serious child, I would say. Responsible, doing whatever was asked, like a good girl, nice girl, never, any troubles, not with me.
Because you had to, or you were just like that?
I had to. I believe I had to.
Okay.
I believe I had to, and I adjusted. So style helped me to see this part of me which was deeply hidden, but I craved for it in a way. So while working with my clients, I also tell them, and I also in this process communicate that sometimes clothes really tell us something which we are not ready yet to see, but it's already in the field. So this is how style really helped me to take it out and see it and embrace it. Because I discovered that my core, and you can call it core, true self, your soul, is really playful. That actually, we all have this playfulness somewhere there. And playfulness, it's also a part of embracing your signature style, because we trigger the ego. So when we play, it's not dangerous to stop us. So this method I discovered when I was deciding to move to fashion and to Amsterdam. I was just playing, checking the universities, seeing if the city is right for me. And it was so playful that at the end it started to be real, and I did it. And this was a huge lesson, which I discovered that actually this playfulness in our life let us make huge changes, because there is no limits. There is no this there is no this ego screaming like, no, it's not safe, don't do it. So playfulness, it's a huge part of my brand, of my personality, of my core, of my soul. And I'm really happy that I was lucky to discover that this is so huge, and that this was not meant to be before, but after 40.
Yeah, meant to be before, or not expected before. And
hidden. I would say it was hidden.
Yeah, it was hidden, because you mentioned that discovered, but maybe you rediscovered it in yourself. Because maybe it was already there,
for sure.
But suppressed, or not expected, or not allowed.
Yes, I believe myself that there is not new you, there is only true you. So this was so good hidden that I could not feel it for so long, but bloomed at the moment when the moment was right.
Do you believe the clothes we are wearing reveals something about who we are, or what we are trying to express? What do you believe?
For sure. It's not even that I believe, I just know it. I feel it is like that. That first, what we wear tells us tells others also how we feel, or where we are in life. But also, on the other hand, you have the power to navigate this. So you are choosing if you want to feel and dress as you feel, or you want to dress as you want to feel. So this is huge also, because it gives us this, again, responsibility of showing up for ourselves in life and for others. But there is also color psychology. There is also fashion psychology. So there are already tools, and actually fashion is a huge, interesting subject for researchers, and they prove that there was even research done in 2000, I don't remember exactly the date, but it's called enclave cognition. So they proved that actually what you wear influences your mind. So there was two groups of students, and one was given white coat and was told that it's a doctor's coat. The other was given the same white coat and was said that it's a painter's coat. So guess which group, performed better.
Entitled, and the behavior performed better.
Yeah,
oh,
so
right.
they just scored better. They just felt more, actually more intelligent. So this is one of examples.
Hopefully, you said guess who, and I hope the painters did. All right, but this get me curious because I do believe also that the clothes we wear, and I really love to wear a lot of the same clothes, all clean, all neat, and all, so I don't have to think about it. It has to feel right. And now let's do an experiment, because our podcast is only audible, and let's try to explain the clothes you are wearing and why did you choose for what you're wearing, and do it in a visual way that people right away have a picture without even seeing it.
This is funny because when you were just talking about this, I thought, yeah, this, like when you look at me, you actually see, actually maybe you tell me what you see first. Like, what do you feel when you see me dressed like that, and then I will explain what I wear. This might be even more interesting experiment.
You need time, right? You needed time, right? To think about what I'm going to say. Well, I will give it to you. What I see is very well chosen. Also safe. So very well chosen, but also safe. Because if I look at your website, it's a total different ballgame what I see at first. So I see a beautiful pant with... I'm not going to explain what I specifically see.
Just give the feeling.
It's you, sort of playful also. And yet also the first word comes for the personality I feel you are. It's a safe choice. That's the first thing what comes to mind, and there's no right or wrong. So I'm covering my eyes right now. But so that's what I feel. It's all very well balanced, and it's all, but it feels safe. It feels safe, and I only can say that because I saw your website and I saw really interesting pictures, and I'm like, yeah, it's you, but it's safe.
Yeah, and now I will explain how it works. So what I'm wearing, it's also a little bit of black with some patterns. So starting with my shoes, I have white shoes, which I always love because white, I believe, it brings always this casuality to any outfit and makes this outfit more like me. I have socks with totally different pattern than my trousers, which also is me. So I mix different patterns together, and this is my one of my signature elements. But I wear a lot of black. And black, it's totally not my best color. And black is the color which brings safety. That's why you feel it's a safe, like it feels like a safe choice in a way. But black also brings focus to me. So even though I know that black, it's not my best color, I wear black in some situations when I really need to go internally, which I knew that we will do today. So I also do it for myself, not to be distracted, but I kept my signature because I have small flowers on my black trousers. Also black trousers are from a very soft fabric, which gives me, it's like when you are kinesthetic, it gives you this nice feeling of warm blanket, or woolen blanket. So it feels very good.
Nice hand feel. Yeah.
Yes. And my jumper, it has very funny elements on it. So this is this playfulness, which balances the black and brings again this core of my personality. So for me, it felt like, okay, I feel today I have this, signature, I have my focus, and I have the playfulness. And also, when I get dressed in the morning, I really don't analyze it like that. It's just the feeling. So I also always feel like it needs to go with the feeling. How do you want to feel? If you know your clothes, if you know your style, if I know color psychology, I know fashion psychology, so I always have it somewhere unconsciously at the back of my mind. But this was the direction.
Interesting. What do you think the clothes I'm wearing today tells? What do I express with my clothes today?
So I think there is some part of controlling, because everything is perfectly ironed and looks the same shape, monochromatic. So I feel you also want to not to be bothered too much by color and by silhouette. So I feel it's classic. I feel it's also, in a way, correct me if I'm wrong, but the focus is also here important. I feel you might be the one, as we know also Mark Zuckerberg, for example, or Steve Jobs, wearing kind of uniform. So to have this choice, which you can repeat every now and then to focus on other things, but it's also light. It's like, I don't see very good, is it like beige or gray, but it's light gray. Yeah. Your trousers also light gray. So there is some lightness in it. So there is hope.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, and the interesting part is that yesterday I was on an event, and the event is 9 out of 10. It's jeans. Mm-hmm. And it's either a denim shirt out of my pants with a rolled up trouser, and then it can be sneakers or it can be suede shoes. But yesterday I had already, I really love that, really nicely ironed. I think I have 6 the same with a pinstripe, light blue pinstripe, and it's like a second skin when I wear it. I really like it, and I really feel good in it. And but today I had a real casual, but I love that I don't have to think a lot about it. So it's like, okay, the colors are in tune and everything, but it shouldn't distract you. So I think there's maybe also a similarity when it comes to focus or distraction. It's the same it's the different side of the same coin, right? So it doesn't distract me. It doesn't, and the funny part is I'm very into sport, and but when I ate a certain period more than I was moving, my jeans become a little bit more tight, and that distracts me really heavily. Nobody sees it. No, I don't care about. To be honest, it's more my feeling that I don't feel right, and because nobody should notice, but you feel the feeling of a pant that is really a little bit, when you're sitting, a little bit too tight. Yeah. That right away has a severe impact on how I feel, how I come across, and maybe not for other people, but for myself.
Very interesting that you tell about this, because a lot of women feel the same.
Yeah.
And men as well. And I would say it influences others. It influences others too. Because when you feel not good, maybe even not as confident as you could be, maybe even not comfortable as you could be, and imagine that you go to give this, keynote, or you have this networking event, it takes so much from us.
It does. You can see, and that's true, because also when accidentally somebody gets a stain before they can get on the stage, you can right away see them thinking about the stain nobody cares about in the audience, because shit happens. But because you're thinking about it, you see slightly, and even if you, especially when you know somebody a little bit more, and you know the story normally somebody brings across, you feel right away, hey, something is off. Someone is distracted.
And this is the power of clothes. We were talking like, is it, how much powerful it is actually. So with this conversation, when we go deeper and deeper, just those daily choices we make, like, do I wear these trousers or do I wear the other trousers? Do I want to have these tight elements in my wardrobe or not? How much it influences our life. And I think in your case also, I feel you build your outfit formulas for yourself. That's why you have those, those 5 shirts, jumpers, probably the same color palette, because you just did it for yourself. So outfit formulas can be repeatable, can be more creative, but still it's a formula which makes our life easier once we know it.
Yes, totally true. And and happily, and it's funny because it's an expression of ourselves, right? And try to imagine if it wasn't about clothes. How would you help people transform in another way in their lives?
Intuitively, for sure. I think I would go for color. Color, it's funny because I think it was 30 years ago when somebody asked me, what line would I put on my grave if I die? This was a very serious question. And I remember, like, not to think too long, like, just give me the line. And I was like, the line was, she brought color into our lives.
Oh, wow.
And it was even before I did anything with fashion. So probably I tapped also into this unconscious part somewhere, because it's always when we start thinking, we overthink. So it was without thinking. So I believe this would go with color. Energy of color, feeling of the color, psychology of color. Like, very quickly I got, this is still a part of what I do now, but if you would take away those clothes from me, I believe color would be really powerful as well.
You can feel in everything what you sharing, you feel a drivenness, you feel a strong urge which comes from inside. Yet you started your business life in corporate.
Yeah.
What led you to the path to become an entrepreneur? Because all the safety, all the high earnings, traveling across, well, I can imagine as an advertising director, you don't sit still.
Yeah.
So, and you're not about sitting still at all. So,
although here I am.
You're focused. It's about your choice of your clothes.
Yeah.
Perfectly chosen. No, but what happened? What happened, or what helped you to become to get on that path and to figure out, hey, but there's a new calling for me?
I think it's several choices on the way I've made. So once you make this one big choice to totally switch your professional life, to change the country, then it's already one step. So then you think you really took so much risk on the way that there is not a lot to risk when you think. I think the worst is the first step. So in my case, I was helped because I was laid off. But I can tell you, I'm so grateful for that. I would never, I think myself, I don't think I would make a decision. I was very comfortable. I was fulfilled in a way because I had this creativity, and actually I was doing fashion after hours, treating this as hobby, never thinking that it will be my fulfillment, my mission.
Were you in the zone then? Did you feel that you were in the zone at that moment?
Yes, and I think this gave me a lot of energy to do what I was doing, to stay in corporate even longer, because I was doing already, things.
On the side, the fulfillment came on the side, and high earning job, and also was also fulfilling. So there was at that point, before the layoff, there was not a unfulfilling feeling,
No.
a bothering feeling, something missing out feeling.
No, it was not. And I would never say that creativity is missing in a way, because there was creativity.
Yeah.
But because of the situation, I was confronted, and I took this challenge, I must say. And I'm actually very thankful for myself that I took this time to work. I took also a coach. We had meetings every 2-3 weeks. He was amazing. He was just asking me questions, and I was, giving answers and doing things like traveling, Amsterdam, Florence, choosing where do I want to. But still, I felt we are playing. I really feel like this was my secret in a way. Playfulness brought me to big changes in my life. So when I made those changes, then the change to stop working in corporate and be the business owner was very natural in a way. I also discovered on the way that I mentioned, I think today already, maybe not yet, that actually I love to be my own boss. That I'm very good in managing myself. I spread my wings and I can fly when I have freedom of choice, which is not always the case in corporate. Even though I also feel I was lucky enough to really climb high quite quickly. So it was not, a lot of people above, but still there is this freedom of really making impact in the world.
But did you feel also, let me a little bit step into that one, did you feel also the freedom to be you, who you are in the moment when you were working in the corporate environment?
Not at all.
Oh, because, that's okay.
Not at all.
But it wasn't bothering.
It wasn't bothering me, and this is also very interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's also very interesting how, it's like being in golden cage. That you don't even want to see outside because it's scary. So how many of you listeners also feel this way, that we don't even know that we don't want to see. And I think we as human beings are very good in, staying in comfort. And this applies also to style. When we talk about style, that it's for some of my clients, it's really huge journey to embrace really own true style from your deepest parts of your heart. Very challenging. So I didn't even see it.
And do you believe in hindsight? Do you believe, because it's all about what can we learn also, or what can we help other people in the same sort of trajectory in their life? Hey, but am I maybe denying, or maybe deliberately looking the other way? Or what do you think in hindsight, connecting the dots? Did you deliberately look the other way, denied something? What do you think?
I think I turned my head, from that. I think there were signs that I was really, it was not my way. I was interested in really, I was doing fashion on the side. It was my hobby. So there was like this, I was drawn into it. But I really didn't want to see it, and I really need to admit it, because I was so comfortable, and I really didn't want to take this risk. So I think I just put this kind of pink glasses, looking through pink glasses. I think it was like avoiding a confrontation.
And then the layoff came. Do you believe that? The layoff you mentioned was a sort of help. You said you just really, then the help came. I was trying to recall what you just mentioned, but you really said help. Yeah. So it helped you.
Yeah, it helped me tremendously.
Oh wow! And with all the knowledge of now, do you believe that you needed that, or that we can help other people in the same situation? Because I know a lot of my listeners are in the same situation right now. Mm-hmm. And in comfortable situations, having serious jobs with everything what comes with it, yet I'm working with them, and there is something, calling them. Do you believe that we can help? What can help people to not wait, and maybe the moment never comes, never lay off? That also can happen. How can we help people in the same situation to maybe don't wait for that moment? It's not an easy question, I know, but what do you think would help?
I think when I look back, probably a few months before or half a year ago, I could feel there is something also growing in me, probably, that I was getting ready. Mm-hmm. And what I would advise to tap into it, to really listen to yourself. I was really doing everything, I'm very good in being busy. Mm-hmm. Doing things, being busy, just give me a project and I will always deliver. It's very tricky, and probably a lot of your listeners are also busy, doing, multiple projects at the same time, not seeing yourself. So I would really say seeing yourself on the way, in between those projects, it's so crucial to really check where you really want to go. I didn't look. Even though I was all the time somewhere there in development, self-development, I love doing things, experimenting. But, it was again not too serious in a way, not too deep maybe enough. But if I would look inside, if I would dare to look inside earlier, it would come up earlier for sure. Because when it did, it was very strong.
Do you believe the coach you've mentioned, which was very helpful, the coach came afterwards, right? After the moment.
Yes, after the moment.
All right. Do you believe, and it's almost impossible because the situation wasn't there, but do you believe that if you had the same coach earlier on within working in the environment, that it might have helped you to get earlier on that stage? I'm like, hey, maybe I have to jump.
For sure.
Yeah?
I'm very sure. And I would even say that if I would not meet this coach, which was really, we worked like 2-3 months only together, I would even dare to say that I might be back to what I was doing, but in a different company.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was everybody is different, of course, so I feel I needed a kick, and then I go. So everybody should check how long and how fast you want to go, and this needs to be also chemistry between two people that we understand that good questions are asked, and intuition, and so it was there. So I feel it was in a way so challenging. I remember every session I was going out with this red cheeks, that I was so like, oh my God, what are we talking about? Scary stuff. But I don't believe that we can challenge ourselves for such a big transformation and really stay accountable.
I truly agree with you. And that's what I mean in my coaching, that I'm very open about the moment in my life that really felt like rock bottom. Yeah. But I also believe that we don't necessarily have to go rock bottom to reach a point that we feel, hey, but something doesn't feel right. Maybe we have to do something different. And the red cheek moment you meant, can you remember still one or two questions what really, really helped you crack your internal code? What was in your way standing in between where you want to go?
Yeah, so I really vividly remember this question because it was like, if everything would be possible, again, this was very important. This was
resonating,
it was very important. So look, like how good question it was.
Yeah.
Especially for me when I'm like, then I immediately alerted, if everything would be possible, what would you really love to do? Very easy question. And it's not like a very, like, we've heard those questions, you know?
That's interesting. I get a bodily response.
Yes,
you
me too.
asking that question, like a sort of goosebumpy feeling. That's interesting.
Again, yeah. And then I said, fashion. And then I looked and I really remember what I was thinking, like, what am I thinking, you know? What am I thinking? But okay, let's play. And from there, it started like more questions, but I was like, fashion. But you know, it's like fashion. It's like big word, but for me, it meant a lot. It meant a lot, and it meant impossible in a way. You know, impossible. But I can talk. Like if we can't. But the beginning of the question, if everything would be possible, it was huge. If not this, I think I would go. You know, again to my mind, not to my heart. And I think we have all answers in our heart.
I do believe that all the real answers are already inside of us. Yeah. Do you believe that too?
Yeah, for sure. But sometimes we need activator.
Yes. Yeah. And only to guide you. Yeah. That's it. Not someone telling you, but only guide you. Yeah. Creating space, but also sometimes create a little bit tension.
Yeah. Yeah, like kicking you off of this comfort zone, right?
Fascinating creatures, aren't we?
Yeah.
Hey, while we're heading towards the end of our conversation, which I really enjoyed you having in Journeys of Empowerment, in a way, you thrive, and correct me if I'm wrong right now, in helping people transform through their style also, right? Yeah. Is there also a sort of end stage they're envisioning or not? Where does it end?
Embodying the change. This is huge. And I'm really happy that you ask about this, because I believe we can quickly change a lot of things in our life. It's also like our conversation about life changes. But once you don't embody this, and of course, embody, it's also like, what does it mean to embody? Like for everybody, embodying might be different. But I feel it's this going into your real identity and feeling this, like, you know, standing there wherever you need to be in your business, in your life, because it's like I feel business and life too separate, but actually together. When you empowered for your life, you are empowered for your business, and the other way around. So when you embody this change, how you are dressed, this is where I say, you know, goodbye to my clients, and you are ready. So my idea is to share my knowledge, to guide, and let go.
Let go.
Let go. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, we will meet each other again, and we will visit. I guess the 3rd of December we will visit together a women's health at work at Equals. But I truly enjoyed your company and our conversation. And what would be one single piece of advice for the world?
There is one sentence I want to add to everything we were talking about, that it's all accessible to everybody. It's not that I made a huge change in my life, you, Michael, also made changes, or some other people you see around. It's all accessible to us. And actually, jealousy, it's a very good feeling, because maybe some of you feel like, oh, I will never be there. You just look and you see like, oh, I would love it. This is actually, I would say, this is your sign. which was also in my life often this kind of like, I wanted to, I will never, but then I was there. It's all accessible. This is my last sentence to everybody, but you just need to make first step.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. If something in this conversation steered you, pass it on to someone who might need it. Because sometimes one story is all it takes. Keep going, keep listening to what matters, and keep being you. Oh, and before we close, a quick call to agency for all the men listening. On December 3rd in Amsterdam, we'll gather again for the next Women's Health at Work sessions, organized by Embrace Health, formerly known as Mama Moon Health. Even if you think women's health isn't your topic, you might have a mother, sister, colleague or daughter who needs you to show up. The only way to really see what's happening is to be part of the conversation. Looking forward to see you there.